Welcome to Sport Management 465. My name is Mark Vermillion, and this is Psychology of Sport and Physical Activity. I want to take a brief moment today, and if you were not able to attend the first day of class, then I would just want to walk through some of the information that would be discussed or addressed in a typical first day of class presentation. As I said before, my name is Mark Vermillion. I'm actually the chair for the Department of Sport Management and the director for the Workforce Leadership and Applied Learning degree program. This semester, we're going to be going through the world of sports psychology. And as you can see here, I have the Blackboard shell pulled up. I'm actually in the student preview mode so that it approximates or more closely approximate what you're going to see every single day as you get into the course shell for the class. I also want to make note that I developed the course on a laptop. So anytime there are directions from me about where to access information, it would be in this traditional view. So if you look down here, this is what I'm talking about here, is that anytime I give you directions on accessing the menu options, that's over here on the left-hand side of the traditional laptop screen. If you're viewing the course on a mobile device, such as a phone or laptop, or excuse me, on a tablet, then Blackboard might look a little bit different, and so therefore the directions that I give might be slightly different on your device. So my recommendation is to access the course on a laptop or be aware that there are going to be some differences between mobile devices and or the laptop view. Once you get into the course, the first thing you'll do is you'll come over here to Start Here. And this is an overview of what we're looking for in the course. I recommend that you read through this because this is akin to what I also might give if we had a traditional face-to-face first day of class presentation. I also want you to know that a lot of this information over here, the syllabus and schedule, this is the stuff that you're going to be accessing on a day-to-day basis. The syllabus, we're actually going to talk about that in a little bit, so we're going to come back to this. But for a lot of folks, this weekly schedule is what's going to help keep you updated on what's going on in the course. As you've probably found out by now, we're not going to meet every single week, and our course meetings are going to be via Zoom. Our course is too big. We have about 80 students in the class, and so the university does not have enough classrooms to accommodate the social distancing requirements and having that number of students in a classroom. So we're going to be on Zoom. The required Zoom class meetings are located here. You can see those. We do have 2 optional days that I'll send out invites for as well, located here. And all of this information is in the weekly schedule. Opinion quizzes. Anytime you have quizzes for different sections, if you have different assignments that are due, all those things are going to be located here in the course schedule. Please make sure you refer to that on a regular basis. Also, as I referenced earlier, announcements are right here. And so you can see that the Zoom information was posted on Blackboard as an announcement. Here's the information, there's the password, there's the link, and then here's the password here. What I do is anytime I send out an announcement, I also check the box so that that announcement's automatically emailed to your shockers.wichita.edu accounts. As I have recommended earlier when I reached out to everyone on August 3rd, is that all students are required to use their shockers.wichita.edu email addresses because that's the official portal, if you will, for university, departmental, and class information. So please make sure you're checking that on a regular basis. The class, I try to get, if you've had other professors, my particular courses might be a little bit more basic compared to some of theirs. That's just my personal comfort level when it comes to developing courses in Blackboard, but I try to keep things very simple. So there are 3 sections in the course, and then we have some assignments here. So for an example, if you get into a section, you'll click on that folder, and what you'll have here are the notes. Now I compose these notes and create these notes in Google Slides, and then I download them into PowerPoint and post them onto the website for you all to access. Each section will have 2 quizzes. Okay, instead of having 1 exam for each section, I've broken those exams up into 2 smaller quizzes, so you're consuming less information and being tested over less information. All of these quizzes are posted in the corresponding section folders on Blackboard. Now, the opinion quiz, in the past I used to do blogs, but as Blackboard's going to start updating over the next year, the blog function has been removed from Blackboard, which is not a problem. What I do is, blogs were just an opportunity for you to give your opinion and kind of weigh in on certain aspects of the class. There's really no right and wrong answer as compared to I'm interested in your opinions about different things and your effort. And so what I use is I use the quiz function. So see how these icons look the same? But as you click on this one and go through that, it's actually just 1 or 2 questions where you're able to give your opinion on different subjects. I'm more interested in the fact that you are engaging with the material and providing an opinion, and that's how you're going to be graded. Not necessarily on a right and wrong answer, but on the fact that you've completed this particular assessment. Okay, as you navigate through the Blackboard shell, you can do a couple different things. You can use the kind of cookie crumb trail up here, or you can come over here on the left and use the menu option. And then you have different sections, and as a result you have different quizzes. But I want to direct your attention to the assignments folder. You have 2 assignments that are going to be essentially writing assignments throughout the semester, and both of them require you to access a multimedia presentation, consume that, and then you're going to go through and discuss or address the questions that are listed below. For those of you that have not used Blackboard in the past or are unfamiliar with how to upload assignments, at this point what you do is you go through this process, you write your paper separately, and then when it's ready to submit, or by the due date, you come up here, click on this. See, this icon here means it's an assignment, so you click on this, and then from here it's like attaching a file to send via email. You'll just upload and attach the paper that you've been working on, and then I will go into the gradebook and grade it that way. So all of our interaction will be through the Blackboard shell. Okay. You're able to check your grades here. As I said, announcements. This email function, you're actually able to email folks within the Blackboard shell, your student colleagues. You can also email me. I would recommend, though, if you are going to email me, to reach out directly to my email address. Sometimes it gets a little wonky as you email back and forth within Blackboard, because it's a do not reply, so that means you then have to pull out the email address and compose a new email and that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's just flat out easier to email me directly. This is the course shell, and like I said, we try to keep things pretty basic. If you have any questions on that information, then please feel free to reach out to me. One of the things I did want to make clear is that I used to create small lectures, audio podcasts or lectures, for every single piece of information within the Blackboard shell. So if we went to section 1, you would actually have lectures over these notes. I've gotten away from that this particular semester because in the past, students did not necessarily access those podcasts and those lectures, which is completely fine. And so what I've done is I've redone all the notes, made them shorter, a little cleaner in terms of kind of to the point. There is no required textbook for this course, so these notes in each particular section, think of those notes as your textbook. Okay? Now, there are occasionally required readings that are embedded within the PowerPoint presentations. However, to access those, normally you have to click on the PowerPoint, open it up, and put it in present mode, and then you're able to access the hyperlinks that are embedded within it. Okay, if you have any questions, as I said before, I create everything in Google Slides and then I download it into PowerPoint. So if you're having trouble accessing some of the hyperlinks, feel free to reach out to me directly and I can just send you those raw hyperlinks so you can consume that information at your leisure. There are no questions. we try to keep things fairly simple on Blackboard. I think what's also important is that we understand that there is a syllabus. And the syllabus, here we go. This is all the information for the class. I will be honest with you, with the unique nature of fall 2020, the office hours are going to be more by appointment. Reach out to me and we can set up a time to talk, or we can talk through things through email or over the phone, that type of thing. If there is a reason that you do need to meet with me in our office suite, then we can work through that process as we get a little closer to it. As with every class, Wichita State University, there are learner outcomes, and those are going to be identified here. And then these are the assessments where we try to measure that you are learning these particular things. For those of you that have been in sport management before, you're probably used to seeing some of this COSMA assessment material. So we are accredited by the Commission on Sport Management Accreditation. We're one of 54 institutions in the world to have both of their, or all of their programs, their sport management programs accredited, something we're very proud of. And what we need to do in order to be in accordance with our COSMA accreditation and federal accreditation regulations is we need to tell people how we meet out a class. So these are the things that we're going to talk about this particular semester. This is how we break it down in terms of contact hours. Or another way of thinking about it is this is how our class of Sport Management 465 fits into the overall understanding of quality sport management education. So we are primarily up here in the foundations of sport, where we really try to understand the historical, sociological, and psychological foundations of sport. I am also the accreditation officer for our department and our programs. So if you have any questions about accreditation, feel free to reach out to me directly and I can answer those questions as may arise. Also, again, there are no required textbooks for this class, and any of the readings that I'm going to require are going to be posted on the Blackboard shell, usually within those PowerPoint presentations. So you don't have to worry about purchasing any additional materials. I recommend that you go through and read the syllabus. Talks a little bit about expectations for the course, expectations in terms of technology, and also the contact policy. It's something, it's always interesting. I do teach 7 classes a semester, so sometimes it really helps me if you can tell me your first name and your last name and which class you're in. That way I can better answer your question. Also, as chair and as part of strategic planning efforts here at the university and within the college, I wear a lot of different hats. I'm a program director as well for another degree. These things are not bad, but it does impact my time. And so I try to the best of my abilities, get back to you as soon as possible. And if you email me, I try to get back within 24 hours, assuming it's Monday through Friday during original business days and those types of things. So I do try to make an effort to get back with you as quickly as possible if you have questions. There's the grading scale. As with all courses here at Wichita State, we're a plus-minus system. If you're new to Wichita State, meaning we have B+, B, B-, those types of things. There is no A+. We just have A and A-, so just be aware of that in terms of calculating grade point averages and things like that. I'm a big fan of keeping most of the points available in the class in the A, B, C range. So if you'll notice, most of the points for an A are located here. There are a few points available for an A-, and the reason I put most of the points in the A, the B, and the C range is because there is no A+, so it kind of throws things off, and I want to make sure that students, that grading can be as fair as humanly possible to students. There's a breakdown of the assignments. As we talked about, there's quizzes. There are 6 quizzes, meaning there are 2 quizzes per section of the course. So Section 1 has quiz 1 and 2. Section 2 has quizzes 3 and 4. And then Section 3 obviously is quizzes 5 and 6. Do not accept late assignments unless you've contacted me ahead of time and said that that's going to be, and we kind of work through a plan on that. If you miss assignments or exams, there are no makeup. Additionally, there is no extra credit opportunities in the course, and the university has changed, and you used to see a lot of this language here in the syllabus templates for every class. However, now you can click on this website and you can find out all the information in terms of care team, counseling prevention services, statements on first generation of students' names and pronouns, etc., etc. And again, here is the tentative course schedule for our class this particular semester. This is the same one that's actually posted on the Blackboard shell. Again, if you have any questions on the syllabus, then feel free to reach out to me and I'll do whatever I can to help with that. Now, this is something that I just wanted to take a moment. Every single class I've ever taught, whether it's a 100 level Intro to Sociology course or the graduate levels at the 800 and 900 level, I always kind of talk about this idea. And it comes from Plato, the Greek philosopher. And he really said that knowledge is the intersection of truth and belief. And this is something that's really important to me because sometimes people ask why they have to take a sports psychology class in sport management. Oftentimes, sports psychology, it used to be associated more with coaching. And we have a lot of our students that are not necessarily going to be involved in coaching, which is not a bad thing. It's not a good thing. It's just reality. And so what we do is we have this psychology class because whether you're working with athletes or whether you're working with employees, whether you're a coach or a manager, a lot of the ideas are going to translate. Okay, and to me, that's a great example of knowledge. And knowledge, as you're trying to develop a strong knowledge base, Plato says you have to understand truth, which is basically understanding sort of the known facts of the world at the time. So this would be like scientific knowledge or social scientific knowledge, technical knowledge that's associated with how to run Paciolan's ticketing system, for example. Okay, that would be akin to truth. And that's the easy stuff. You can go out and you can seek that information. What's probably more difficult is the idea of belief. And that's being able to really incorporate this truth or these facts into your worldview of your personal life, your professional life, your academic life, etc. That's when you develop true knowledge. And this is difficult because sometimes you're going to come across information that contradicts your personal worldview. And so you're going to be at a crossroads where you have to decide whether you're going to incorporate this information. Now, my job is not necessarily to tell you what is right and wrong. My job is not necessarily to tell you what to believe. My job is to make this, the truth, all this information available to you. You can then incorporate it into your professional worldview, your leadership strategies, whatever, and then that's how you can develop your knowledge base and start moving forward. This is one of those things that as we start moving forward in the class, some of the big things for me, I'm big on effort. The more, if you put forth honest effort, then that's going to manifest itself in a successful class for you. Time management's important. I know that fall 2020 is going to be a difficult semester for a lot of people. Please make sure that you're managing your time, your classes, your work schedule, your social schedules, all those different things in a very positive way. As you start to manage that time, communication is going to be key. And good communication. It's easy to talk about communication, but good communication is really a difficult process to engage within. And I will send out all the Zoom invites days before we actually meet. The only limitation of this is that I post these things as announcements on Blackboard. And if you don't access the information, that's the only way we're going to have a breakdown in communication throughout the semester. I understand that things are going to be unique, so I'm pretty flexible, pretty laid back, as long as you're putting forth some good faith effort, attempting to manage your time, and you're constantly communicating with me if you have a need or have questions, then I imagine that we're going to be good to go. As always, if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about today, then please feel free to reach out to me, and I will do whatever I can to help.